Hello, hello. Welcome to the What's Your Journey show with Mary Maverick and Spunky Susan in the house. So we are excited to be back on. We took a couple of weeks off for the holidays. How was your holidays, Maverick Mary?
My holidays was filled with spending time with lots of friends, and I got to see 3 of 4 of my daughters, so that was great.
Nice. Did you guys do anything exciting, special? I know you had shared some traditions. What were any of those that you done?
I went back to my hometown, so that was fun.
Nice.
It's always nice to return to where you grew up, went to high school, all of that. I brought a friend there that had never been to my hometown, so that was fun.
Cool. That's cool. And what did your friend think?
I think they're just not used to like a small town where I grew up, so they're from a bigger city, so um, they're like, "Geez, what do you guys do here?" I said, "If you live here in the winter, all you do is ski."
Hello, Tammy. Welcome. Hey, girl.
Hi, Tammy.
Thanks for joining us.
Wow, you got right on tonight, Tammy. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
So what I'm gonna do is copy the link and put it in the comments for the Q&A towards the end, where you can hopefully join us. I know you had some complications trying to join us on one of the lives there, Tammy. But there's the link in the comments, and you should be able just to click on that, and when we do live Q&A, it'll bring you into our lobby section where I'm at, and then I add you to our show as a guest, so that you can share or ask questions. I wanted to just kind of remind everybody, this is a weekly show, except for holidays. It's going to be every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I usually always post something, or Mary might post something with an event where you can go on, but it'll always be on this timeline, so it's easy for you to find. So, and if you want to watch previous shows that you may not have caught, you can head over to our YouTube channel, which is in the events section. And for anyone that joins us, please let us know you're with us, where you're from. Give us a shout out. And if you hear things that you can relate to, your comments, we'd love to hear what you've got to say. And we'd love to, it looks like we just lost Mary. She'll probably be right back. Anyways, we just want to make this as interactive as possible. So welcome to the What's Your Journey show. I'm Susan Yockey, and for this show, I'm called Spunky Susan. And tonight we're talking about, it says you still can't get it. That's so weird. I wonder, I'm going to try to, because I send the link over to Mary via Messenger. So I'm going to go into Messenger and send you the link, Tammy. And we'll try from there. No promises, though. Does it say why it's not letting you in, Tammy? I'm going to just do this real quick while we give Mary a moment to jump back on. All right, I just sent you the link, Tammy, via Facebook Messenger. We'll give that a shot. Anyways, so if you want to catch any previous shows, You could check us out on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is There's Mary. We lost you there for a sec. Tammy said she still can't get on. She can see the link. She just can't click on it. I don't know. Have you tried copying and pasting it to your URL or to your URL? Take and copy paste the URL and then click enter. Try that because it's a link. Anyways, so I did put the URL in your messenger as well. And I'm just going to check something on our Facebook page. Or on, yeah, see when I go on the comment section and see the URL, I can actually click on it. So I don't know why you're not able to. What I could do is message technical Be Live Tech team and find out what that's about. Anyway, all right. If we can get you on, Tammy, awesome. If not, I hope you enjoy the show tonight. We are talking about kicking 2018 to the curb, baby. And I say that with love. And ringing in your new year. For me, though, I love this time of year because it's all about reflecting on that previous year. And there's many ways that you can reflect. So I guess I'll start it off with, Mary, why don't you share with us, like, what is the ways that you reflect on the previous year, and what are your top 2 reflections of lessons or accomplishments that you'd like to share with our audience?
My 2 top accomplishments this year was to deepen my professional leadership skills. So I went away to 2 conferences that were completely separate from my educational job during the school year, just to broaden my horizons in terms of leadership on an educational level and leadership as a coach. The second thing was to give myself some personal rest time. I usually work during the summer, all summer, and just felt like this past year had been, and the year before actually more so than this past year, had been quite a lot. So give myself a rest all summer, and it was lovely.
Awesome. Well, self-care is like so important for people, especially if you work as much as you do. So it looks like Tammy was able to join the lobby section. I don't know if she can see the live while we're talking while she's in the lobby. So this is like all new, bringing in guests and stuff.
Well, welcome, Tammy. I'm glad to see that you have a parking spot.
Yay! So she had to download the app. Working with us here. That's awesome. All right. Well, those sound like some really great accomplishments and successes throughout the summer. And for me, I just like, it's a daily thing. Reflection for me is like a daily thing. I just take it a lot deeper at the end of the year, and I even still go into the new year with some of that work. And for me, 2 accomplishments. The first one is releasing 40 pounds. Yay!
Wow.
My goal was 80 pounds. However, I spent probably the first half of the year, dealing with mindset bullshit. And then the rest of the year was like easy. It was like, there goes 40 pounds. Wow. Okay, cool. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. It was a milestone for me because I have had always been over 200 pounds since my youngest son, who is now 20 years old. So that's a huge milestone for me.
Yeah, that would be for anybody.
Yeah. And okay, cool. She can still see us and hear us. Awesome. Thanks, Tammy. And thanks for the acknowledgement. And as soon as we get to Q&A, we'll pull you up into the screen with us. That's going to be exciting. If you have questions or you want to share your insights or anything about what we're talking about here. So the second accomplishment was my husband and I had a goal, which was to increase our income, pay off debts, and have savings. And I am very proud to say that we've tripled our income. We've paid off over half our debts. We've been cleaning up our credit score, and we have four savings accounts.
Yay!
So that's the second huge one. And I'm actually being asked by people if I will be starting like some sort of, group where we have, conversations about money and managing money and manifesting money, creating it, whatever you want to call it. And so I'll be doing some meditation around that to see if anything comes up. If I get any downloads to do it, I certainly will. Definitely always about sharing, our tips and strategies that I've learned mainly from top leaders like John Ashraf, Katrina Ruth, and people like that. So, but I wanted to share some crazy statistics about New Year's resolutions. Mary, do you do New Year's resolutions?
I don't think I really do New Year's resolutions. I make a promise to myself to keep my promise. If that's a New Year's resolution, I don't really call it a resolution. I think of it more as this is my goal for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the top three things. I try not to make too many things that I want to accomplish, and go from there. And I find that to be better than making up a whole list of things that you can't possibly do. Just pick three.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love that. That's actually, that's exactly one of the ways that John Ashraf teaches is that he has this whole thing about creating the new year, life mission statement, like all this really amazing stuff. And I've used those tools. But by the time you're done, you are picking your top three and you're breaking it down into bite-sized chunks that are where it's not overwhelming. And it actually, in my research, I did read that top researchers that do studies with colleges do say that people don't accomplish their goals or their New Year's resolutions because they just put too many out there and it becomes overwhelming, and then they just don't deal with the mindset stuff that comes along with all that. And so they get discouraged and give up. But what I wanted to share that I thought was really interesting, and I shared this in my webinar last year with those statistics a year ago, and they're very close and still the same, is statisticbrain.com. It's a research company, say that 80% of New Year's resolutions fell by the second week of February. And HuffPost.com and Forbes, they say that only 8% actually keep their New Year's resolutions and accomplish them. Isn't that crazy? Well, I would like to think that I'm one of the 8%.
Well, I think that what's interesting is that there's the people that make a list. Are you a person that makes a list? I'd like to hear from Tammy too. You can put it in the notes, Tammy. Are you the kind of person that makes a list and has to cross it off? each day. You know, some people like to make a to-do list. I think
Uh-huh.
that the people that make to-do lists are probably more apt to be part of those 8%. I don't know. I can't say that I make a list every single day, but if it's something that's really important to me, I make sure that it goes on a sticky. Like if there's something that I want to remember for work in the morning that I don't have time to get out before I go to bed, I will put it on a sticky and put it on my door so
Yeah.
I don't forget it on my way to work.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I would say that I sort of still do that, but I used to do a ton of it. I was all about structure and processes and strategies and all this stuff, which was super time consuming and stressful, overwhelming, and then discouraging too, because if I didn't accomplish too much of that, then I was beating myself up over it. You know what I mean? So, but I've learned a new way to do stuff. Now, to begin my year, I do take time to create what my new year is, but I actually use, I don't know if you've seen these before, but they're called law of attraction planners.
Wow, that looks pretty.
Absolutely amazing. It's my first one, and it
Can you
it
show
has
us
like,
the inside without showing
yeah, that's what
anything
I'm gonna
private?
do is like show you an inside. But so you start off with your life statement. Let's see, let me turn my book this way. So you start off with a
Wow.
life statement and your vision statement. Then there's just a second. It's called the Law of Attraction Roadmap.
Wow, look at that.
And
That's
then,
fantastic.
yeah, it's really cool. And then this page is questions to empower your day. And then it opens up and it shows you the emotional vibrations and affirmations for when you're in a low vibration. Um, this one is action steps to feel better and increase your emotional vibration. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. But you do these steps, and what it does, let me get to first you do awareness and self-discovery, and it has like all these questions, and then you create a mission and vision statement, and that's where you get the front part where you write out your mission and vision. Then they have you write down 50 goals. I cannot follow rules. Mine was like something like 60. So you write them down. You just randomly just start writing all these goals and desires and dreams and things that you have in the world. Then you create harmony on all levels, and it breaks it down. So then you're breaking those goals down smaller. And what happens is you end up with your top 5 goals for the year. And then, I mean, it's just like this whole process. So I've actually spent the past month working on this, not every single day, but then you have a page for your vision board and your gratitude page. But let me show you so there's a month at a glance.
Wow.
And you put your monthly goal based on your yearly goal. You write down action steps that you'll be taking, your desired goal for the month, your reward, what you're going to reward yourself if you accomplish it. There's a spot for ideas, gratitude, creation, notes, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a weekly one. And it breaks it down day by day.
Wow.
So I'm excited about using it, but here's my flow. This is a new way that I've learned how to which ego doesn't like, by the way, Mary, is to just, I have my top 5 non-negotiables, which is meditate, exercise, taking care of myself, my health and stuff like that. Journaling is like the most important to me. Sales, and that comes from the journaling, believe it or not. I create my programs and everything comes from that. So I'm actually learning how to do stuff from flow and ease versus from checklists and to-do lists. And it's been interesting, but I can say that it's less work and I'm actually accomplishing more, and I'm fully guided by spirit, God, whatever you call it, for my daily actions. And it's been very interesting because the fight between my brain and and wanting to do all the time. So like I'm getting stuff done, but it's not based on some strategy or some structure, or you know what I mean? And I do that every day in the morning. I reflect on my previous day. And then I just meditate and journal and read and whatever flows up, because I'm asking for guidance. What is in alignment for me today? And then I just go with that. So that's been the practice over the past couple of months.
Geez, that sounds very accountable to me. Very actionable steps. Like you can't just think about what you're going to do. It actually makes, by writing it down, it makes you more accountable. It's kind of like that, having that list and then needing to cross it off. But you're going one step further. Besides writing it down, you're making it more accountable for what that is on the list. What do you have to do to accomplish it? So, for instance, if the thing on your list is to get groceries, well, that's great, but what time of day are you going to get the groceries? Do you have other things going on that day? What groceries are you going to get for what meals you're going to make? And how much money do you have to get groceries that week? All of those things come into play for getting groceries.
Yeah.
Even as much as, how much gas do I have in the car just to even get there? For depending on who you are, you might be thinking about all of those things.
Right.
And the weather, depending on where you live, you might be thinking about the weather. Well, geez, I don't want to go Wednesday because we're getting a storm. So it just, like, if you think about it, you're making it very actionable steps for what you're going to do, because all great coaches will tell you that if you don't make steps for what you're going to do, you won't accomplish those goals little by little. You need to have an actual plan. So, Tammy, actually, I wanted to bring you on to talk about, do you make a list or don't you make a list? Let's see. I don't know if I can bring you on, or we can tap a button so that you can come on here. Let's see. I think that maybe Susan might have to do that from her end to get you on live. So she'll be back in just a minute. So before Susan and I came on live tonight, we always talk about what we're going to speak about on the show. And we were talking about what our goals are for this year. So please let us know what your goal might be, Tammy. I don't know what happened to Susan, but okay. Tammy was waiting to go on to talk with us, but
yeah. Well, before I bring you on, Tammy, I wanted to share really quickly. Let me pull it up. 7 reasons why I believe people should reflect daily. Self-reflection is really important. Let me post up here really quick. So what are some ways that you reflect? Post those in the comments. Let me pull up my agenda here really quick. Because like I was saying in the beginning, there's tons of ways that people reflect, but it's just important to know to reflect. So I'm going to share 7 reasons why self-reflection is important, starting with the number 1 reason, to make sense of things. When we self-reflect, it helps us to make sense of, hold on here, sorry, pulling my notes up. So self-reflection, it helps you process just your day-to-day thinking and your day-to-day feelings. And when we keep our thoughts floating around in our heads, we only confuse or frustrate ourselves more. So it's really great. That's why I journal, because when you reflect your thoughts and feelings throughout the day, or even if it's, take 30 minutes at the end of the evening or first thing in the morning, just getting those thoughts and feelings is really beneficial for your stress, levels of stress for one. But it also helps you understand why you're feeling a certain way. And then you can make those feelings a little easier to navigate through. And then the second one is to uncover. Let me hide that one and bring this one up. The second one is to uncover breakthroughs. This, of course, is my absolute favorite. I just had a huge breakthrough today. But whenever I'm writing, I always end up with some sort of solution to my problems. It helps me to recognize what I need to do next because everything is laid out in front of me. So journaling also allows me to sift through maybe some previous writings where I can see some patterns. But me, I'm always reflecting on, patterns, because I want to get to the root cause of things that could be in my way or holding me back from things. So by taking a moment just to pause, reflect, and look within, you'll find that you actually have many of the answers you've been seeking already for so long. So your inner guidance comes from self-reflecting. Number 3, challenge your thoughts. It definitely is a really great way to challenge your thoughts. It offers you an opportunity to just challenge some of the thinking. So you get to challenge the limiting beliefs that you might be having around specific things coming up, like around business or relationships, especially with immediate family. If you ever felt, Mary, like, you're having this great conversation and then they say something and all of a sudden you're over here in your head thinking, what a jerk, or, you just all of a sudden you're triggered by what things people say. If you just take enough time to pause, you can actually reflect on that later on and just take a mental note to reflect on that. And then later you can actually reflect on that moment. So, we all have those moments that are either embarrassing or they're things that are bad that ruminate in our mind. So it's a really great way to reflect on that stuff. Eventually what happens is you just start to realize that those things that you're telling yourself about yourself are just not always true. The fourth thing is to recognize change plus track your progress. This is what I think a lot of people are really doing at the end of the year, is if they're reflecting on their progress. I would just invite people to obviously take that a step further and reflect at a deeper level, but obviously recognizing your changes that you've made, in the past year, the goal, what worked about the year, what didn't work, your progress. And then number 5, to increase your self-awareness, just by simply daily, whether it be for 5 minutes or an hour, it doesn't matter how much time you do. But if you did this daily, self-reflection increases your self-awareness, and it allows you the space that you need in your mind to be more creative, to show up differently for people, and really just be in the strength that you want to be through what you intend for yourself on a day-to-day basis. And then number 6, to inspire self-acceptance. So to inspire, I'm all about positive self-reflection, but sometimes we also have that stuff that's just not so positive. But we want to make sure that if I ever say or write something negative about myself, that I get to follow up with something feeling good. So some sort of positive affirmation. But what I do in the morning, first thing, is I write stuff. Like I have a few journals sitting around. I have tons of notebooks. But just for example, I write affirmations, I write intentions, I write gratitudes, and I have deep journal prompting questions. But here's some examples of what I'm talking about. I choose now to believe in myself. I choose now to trust. I choose now to surrender. So that is all that inspires self-acceptance in a positive way. And then number 7, to live with more intention. When we're living with intention, like intention itself is huge. And it's reflecting on the things that's going on in your life. It just is always serving as a reminder of what you do on a daily basis, especially reminding us of what we do accomplish, even the smallest things. Because most of our days they end up blending into one another. So regular reflection allows you it gives you that opportunity to show you that the days are really different, and it's not this mundane day in, day out bullcrap every day. So those are the 7 things that I wanted to share. We're getting ready we're past our time. I apologize. I want to bring Tammy on here. I'd love to hear what she's got to say. I'm also going to be sharing with you my free reflection workbook. And the link will be posted in the comments. And you can also find this show on our YouTube channel. Oh no. Whoops. Get out of there. I accidentally pushed the wrong button. I said end broadcast. That's not what I wanted, but I didn't finish pushing. Okay. Let me get that out of here. Hold on. Okay. Now I'm bringing Tammy on. This is fun. I love this. Tammy! Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you? You're finally with us. This is so exciting.
Woo-hoo. How's it going? Welcome.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you great. Tell me what the little things are today in the chat. The audience can read the chats, but in one of the things that you said is Susan was kind of giving us the big picture of everything, which is phenomenal with tons of details, which I love. But on the other hand, you were saying you like to just enjoy the little things that come along. What little things did you enjoy today, for instance? And I have some too, so I want to hear your little things you enjoyed today.
One of the little things for me today was because it's been raining here all day, off and on, so it's been cloudy and it's been kind of gloomy. But I was up till 4 o'clock this morning with my dog. He's sick, so I'm running on sleep deprivation today. So I had stepped outside, and I live in the Smoky Mountains, so I'm surrounded by beautiful mountains. And I stepped outside, and all of a sudden I heard an owl. It was hooting, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh!"
nice.
So I sat down in my chair, and I just listened to that owl just hooting, So, and then I saw this big crane um, just fly underneath the trees and right
Wow.
by the creek where I live. And I just watched him fly and just listened to the owl. And I was like, okay, this is it right here. So, it's just those kind of little moments. And I'm a people watcher. I love to watch people, always have. So, I was at the grocery store today, and a little, I don't know, she was maybe 5, maybe 4 or 5 years old, this little girl. And of course, she was having her mid-afternoon meltdown, as kids do. She's getting up in a nap, and just the little things. And I was like, I remember when my son used to do that. And so, yeah, just those little bitty moments that, everybody takes for granted. But I've found the older that I've gotten, it truly is it is the little things that
Yeah.
catch your eye, get your attention, and if you pay attention, the universe will let you know. So for me, it's I've gone back old school on that. It's the little things. So yeah.
So that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. It's funny that it must be a weird kindred spirit moment because my reflection is about birds too.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Isn't that odd?
And
Yeah.
yesterday to Dollywood, and she's got the bald eagle sanctuary thing in there. And there was oh my gosh, there was probably like 20 of them, and they were sitting way up on the hillside. And oh god, they were just gorgeous. And so yeah, it's
Mine
just
was at
beautiful.
school today, and all of a sudden, it's a phenomenon that happens where I live. Probably not so much where you are in Tennessee. Are you in the Tennessee portion of the Smoky Mountains,
Yep,
Tammy?
pigeon forge.
Okay,
Yep.
Pigeon Forge, right?
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, I've been down to that area and stayed in that area before in the Smokies, and I know right where I went to Dollywood. I know all the different places that you're
Yeah.
talking about. I've been there, and so today at school, all of a sudden we're in the middle of lessons, and all the kids are looking out the window. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what's going on? An entire large flock of Canadian geese decided to take their rest on the school lawn. And so the kids, it was just like a teaching moment at that point because they're like, wow, why so many? And how long are they going to stay? And how far are they going to fly today? And how fast do they go? So it was a whole lesson on that. And of course, I teach math, so I'm not really a Canadian geese expert. So I had to look it up. And I learned today in that moment that it was such a great teaching moment because I can turn anything into math. That they fly on average about 40 miles an hour when they do fly, and they
Wow.
can fly up to 70 miles an hour,
Wow.
the birds, if they get a tailwind. And they fly on average 1,500 miles in one day and can fly 2,000 to 3,000 miles in a day with a tailwind.
Wow.
That was like
Wow.
staggering information to me. I had no idea. And I think it was so interesting because I didn't know it either. And so it was like the kids and me, we were all learning it at the same time. And it was just a moment in time. And those geese stayed around most of the day, fueling up for their flight later
There.
on today. It was
Wow.
Wow.
cool.
That
What
is
about you,
cool.
Susan? Did you have a moment today with birds?
No. No, but I thought it would be interesting to share with you because I'm like all about spirit animals and stuff. So for the owl, as a spirit animal, it says the meanings of the owl are intuition, ability to see what others do not see. The presence of the owl announces change, capacity to see beyond deceit and masks, wisdom. The traditional meaning of the owl spirit animal is the announcer of death, most likely symbolic like a life transition change. And you can just, all you got to do is type in the owl spirit animal to read more about it because it goes on a whole bunch more. As for the cranes
We're tying in animals with our spirit guides and our reflections.
Yes, I know. I love this.
Thank you, Susan. It's awesome. Tell me more.
Cranes, let's see. Okay, it's talking about like how tall they are. I don't want that.
Yeah, they're good-sized birds. They're huge.
Cranes have long been associated with royalty, balance, grace, and longevity. The crane is a prehistoric animal and looks like one, yet it is also very beautiful and graceful. They can often be seen standing in shallow water. I want to get to. Okay, so when a crane comes into your life as a spirit teacher or totem, you are being asked to use your past as a source of strength in the present. And for goose, the goose symbolism is reminding you that we often take on the quests of our peers and families. It prompts you to look deeply into your heart to ascertain that the choice is yours. Be sure that it is not what someone else has wished upon you. It is telling you to make sure that the path you are on is your own. Alternatively, similar to the fly, goose symbolism is letting you know that the quest you are currently on is about to take an abrupt change of course. However, understand that this is only a temporary thing and that you will soon be back on your chosen path. In other words, it's telling you that you will soon be back on track. So,
these are all reflective.
Yeah, and it's more. And what I do if the spirit animals are around me or whatever, is I just go with what resonates with me. And I believe they really are like divine messages from spirit, from the other realm, or that realm of things anyway. But so what is your guys' theme for 2019? Last year, my theme was self-reliance and independence, and it did not show up the way that I wanted it to, but I got a great deal of lessons on that, and I'm looking forward to sharing what I've created for 2019.
I haven't even gotten that far yet. Still on day 2 of 2019.
Well, grab my free. Well, actually, what is the way? Do you self-reflect, Tammy?
Actually, it's so funny because my friend Robin, we've been friends since we were 12, and we've lost track of our friends that we used to hang around with when we were kids. I still talk to Tammy, the other Tammy. You and I are connected again, and we had so many other friends. Well, there was a particular friend that he just kind of disappeared when we were kids. Nobody knew what happened to him. He just kind of disappeared. Well, he had came in my, I don't know if you want to call it my mind's eye, my insight, for like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, let me see if I can find him. Like in the weeks after he started coming in to my thoughts in my head and little things that would remind me of him, I found him like 2 weeks later. So living in Florida.
Yeah.
So, but then now, my ex-husband is coming. I'm getting his whatever, for whatever reason. But all these friends and people from my past are just really coming to the forefront for whatever reason. And so I'm
Wow.
reconnecting with a lot of people from when we were kids. And it's so funny because, you know, I'm 47, I'm knocking on 50's door. And so Robin and I were sitting, she's like, we used to have so much fun when we were kids. I was like, yeah, I know. We didn't, it didn't matter who we were with. We had our group. We would go, up on campus, walk around campus or to parties or just hanging out playing cards somewhere. It didn't matter. We were always having fun and we always had so many people around us.
Uh-huh.
And that we're older, we've had the kids, we've had the husbands, the jobs, and, life just slapped us in the face so many times. And now we're just, our kids are grown and now we're kind of doing the empty nest thing. And we're like, what do we do? So, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Mhm.
And it's hard because I'm not into the bar scene. Crowds make me very jittery. I can't be around uh, I can't be around all that energy and so much different energy all the time. So they make me nervous and I get jittery. So we were talking, is like, how do we meet new people our own age that aren't, you know, so yeah,
Wow.
we're
Yeah.
kind of,
Valentine's Day is coming up, so we can definitely have a conversation around relationships. And
yeah.
I would definitely say at this point, probably a definite resident expert on that one. But
So
although my
relationships. Um, well, I'm taking notes, Tammy, because we're always looking for ideas for upcoming shows. So I got past relationships, and when you hit a certain age, so discovering new passions, new ways of having fun, and new friendships.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the theme for 2019, just be thinking along those lines. And then I also got that you had a past guy friend at a certain age that just disappeared, and then also around the same time you have your ex who is started showing up as an expert in the field of patterns and things like that. We could have a private conversation along those terms.
I
Um,
think because um, when I found, Lonnie, his name's Lonnie Smith, um, it was just, I just kept getting this, it wasn't a feeling that, he was in trouble I just kept getting the feeling that he was alone. He didn't have anybody to reach out to, and come to find out he had been in a motorcycle accident. Um, so yeah, he was basically everything that I had been feeling about him. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I miss being able to just, talk with somebody and not have it, and just be able to joke and kid around because everything is so political now and everybody's so offended by everything and you can't say anything without somebody being offended. And if you say something about something, then you're racist. He's just
yeah.
getting so tired of it. So I was getting that feeling from him that he just needed a friend. And since I have found him, I have reconnected him with a lot of the friends that we had when we were kids. So they have gotten reconnected. And then same thing with my ex-husband. I don't think it's anything romantic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting that aspect. I'm just getting that. I don't know. With him, I think it's health. It's health wise, something health wise.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, I
So
think that, I mean, it just sounds like there's a lot of, past relationships and things like that. So when you're looking at what is your theme for 2019, I would be looking along that area of what you've been thinking about right there. And then Mary, for you, because we are like 20 minutes over our time, what real quickly have you come up with your theme for 2019?
My theme for 2019 is finishing my master's and finishing my book. So my theme is finish. Finish my book, finish my master's.
Okay, love it. Yeah, I'm hearing discovery. I don't know if you're feeling this too, Mary, but I'm hearing discovery in there with Tammy.
It's because I have been I'm serious, girl. You would not believe the stuff that I have walked out and within the last couple months, and getting all that past, because I just came out of a 3-year relationship, and I honestly thought I had, moved on, forgave him, forgave myself, did all the, all the stuff. And apparently I still got some anger there that I just
private message me. Let's get on the phone.
But so I'm working on that. And for me I have, with me being an empath, I have to release all of that. And that's what I'm doing. I have released so much.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think I'm at the tail end of it. And so
sometimes talking to another person who's just in the listening of without judgment, and can guide you with some questions, can help you just kind of really get more clear on what it is that you're looking for. And for me, 2019 is about expansion. That's what it's about. So I'm going to end tonight's show with a free gift, an offer. It's like just free. It's my Reflect, Gratitude, Let It Go workbook. I have successfully shared that workbook along with usually a webinar. This year I'm not doing the webinar, but I am giving this workbook away. And it's a really dive deep workbook that on reflecting your previous year and working through letting that go. And the link for that is in the comments. You're welcome to take that and go to town on it. And if you have questions or need help working through some of that stuff, just let me know and I will help you. So remember, you can catch our previous shows on the YouTube channel. And we are here every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern. Everyone have a wonderful night. Thank you, Tammy, for coming on. Mary, have a good night. Get some rest, girl. Namaste.
Namaste. Tammy as well. Namaste.
Namaste, ladies.
Namaste.